What's going on, my beautiful geek culture? As always, I'm your boy O, and today it is time for a DC News Roundup. First, we have some financial details on how Warner Brothers accumulated so much debt, and then Supergirl reshoots explained. We have some more information on the situation, and I would like to give you guys my 2 cents on the matter. And finally, we got word on what to expect from Dead of Lanterns. So yeah, 3 topics in one video. So you know what that means? Things are about to get a little bit spicy, baby. All here today on the 4KO. First up is the financial information released via DC Updates. Now, I know some mutant monkeys are going to come to the conclusion and say, DC Updates, they're not Forbes, they're not Variety, hell, not even The Hollywood Reporter. But they have done the math. You know, that thing that people refuse to do in 2025 in regards to that of James Gunn's Superman. Listen, all you need to know is addition, subtraction, fractions, and multiplication. And you will understand exactly why a lot of things are not successful in today's Hollywood. All right, according to DC Updates, in 2020, Warner Brothers made $1.2 billion. Good. Not a lot, but good. In 2021, the studio made exactly $1 billion. Still not a negative, right? In 2022, they lost $7 billion. In 2023, they lost $3 billion. And get this, in 2024, $11 billion. That is double digits. Now, if you do the calculations, 7 plus 3 plus 11, that is $21 billion in the last 3 years, ladies and gentlemen. And what's troubling is, if the pandemic year was in 2020, you still made $1.2 billion and you follow that up with $1 billion. How is it that you lose $7 billion in 2022? What the hell was you doing? What were you doing? All right, we already know you had the Flash in those years. We already know that you had the Suicide Squad in 2021. And guess what? In 2021, you still made $1 billion. So even though the Suicide Squad lost you about $200 million, you were still profitable. But you had that of Blue Beetle, Shazam, and the Fury of the Gods. All of that came out within the last two and a half years or so. But those movies did not lose you that amount of money alone. What the hell are you losing money on? See, this is why I say that WB is ran by a bunch of idiots. There's no reason why you should have a $11 billion loss in 2024. Where the hell was David Salzov? The guy has been in charge since they have been losing money. That's right, 2022, right? 7 billion, 3 billion, 11 billion. Since Warner Brothers Discovery has been losing money, David Salzov has been in charge. Somebody need to think about that, because clearly, this man does not know what the hell he is doing. I have never seen a studio loss of this magnitude in my whole time covering news such as this. This has baffled me. When I saw the report, I said, wait a minute, because I got to 2020, 2021, I said, okay, they was doing good. Then it started dropping off. I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell y'all doing? I think somebody's putting money in their pockets and they don't care if Warner Brothers is around in the next 5 years or so. There's no way that you could sustain this. All right. If you think about it, bro, $11 billion, they have studios that may lose that over the term of 10 years or something. They do not lose it on that magnitude. This company is ruined. The brand of Warner Brothers is damaged altogether, ladies and gentlemen. There has to be some type of way to fix this, because I do not like looking at it like this. All right, it's shameful. It's almost like that boxer who you love and you always saw him win, and suddenly he just kept losing, like Roy Jones Jr. I'm like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Just retire. Just retire. And I don't want to feel that way about Warner Brothers, but come on. You can't keep taking L's like this. This is shameful, embarrassing, and let me tell you something else. It's going to be a reputation that's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. That's how I feel about this situation. Next up, Supergirl reshoots is planned. According to Cosmic Book News, Supergirl reshoots adding more testosterone. David Gordon sweats Superman, possibly more Lobo. Wait a minute. So, you're telling me now you're going to take the Supergirl film and make it out of another miniature Justice League movie while simultaneously turning it into a Superman and Lobo movie? Huh? What the hell are you doing? See, I just talked about how the studio has lost a lot of money, right? This is the reason why. Right here, this unplanned approach of what you're doing with the brands that you own. What is going on with this pivot? Hey, you said Supergirl was going to be the next film in your DC universe. It needs to be a Supergirl film. If you ask me, this doesn't even need Lobo. It doesn't need Superman. It needs Supergirl, which I am not excited about the film, but I'm just saying the wrong choices are always made regarding DC, Warner Brothers, New Line Cinema. What is the problem here? You're going to hijack Supergirl film mainly because you did not figure it out in the first place. We all know this should have not been a Supergirl movie. It should have been at least a Wonder Woman or a Batman, or hell, maybe the second film in your Superman saga. This should have been Man of Tomorrow if you was confident in what you were doing. But here it is. You're trying to figure it out as you go along. That never ends well, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, when you're trying to sit back and think about how you're going to approach this thing after you have filmed, that's not good. That's not good. This thing was done with principal photography back in what? May, I believe, or was it June? I think it was June. I don't want to lie to you guys, but they have been done for the past few months filming this movie. And here it is. You want to go back and change it, okay? Because these reshoots indicate that they're changing the movie. Okay, if you do not understand that, then you're dumb, illiterate, and deaf, all right, and blind. They're changing the film. If they're adding more Lobo and adding more Superman, this is not going to be the same movie that it was a few months ago. This reminds me of The Flash. This reminds me of James Gunn's Superman. This reminds me of the failure that we have gotten in the last 3-4 years regarding that of DC. You can't figure it out, and now you're trying to force it out. It's not going to work, ladies and gentlemen. I feel for the Supergirl project because it has the unfortunate event of being connected to James Gunn's DC universe. All right, for all of those people out there who wants this film, understand this. It has already been set up to fail. Why? Because the direction of the movie wasn't figured out before they completed it. That's how I feel. Last, but certainly not least, is Lanterns. This article is coming from comicbookmovie.com. If you're familiar with the 4KO, you will know this is my preferred site to get my news from. So shout out to them for continuing to bring the noise. It is titled, Lanterns will take place over different time periods, wanted that one specific comic storyline. Now let me give you the good and let me give you the bad. First up, the good. A few years back, there was this animated film released called Green Lantern's Emerald Knights. And I gotta tell you, the way that they gave us all of the backstories of the Green Lanterns, like Kilowog, Sergeant Deacon, who was part of Kilowog's story, Hal Jordan, and we also got some story for Sinestro up in there as well. But the way that they did all of that, it was great. It's easily one of my best DC animated films of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like the action, the scale of it all. And get this, they didn't even visit Earth one time in that storyline. Like for real. You got to see alien planets. You got to see destruction. You got to see villains that you have never got to see ever regarding that of Green Lantern. It was phenomenal. So if they adapt the way that the stories was told in an animated film, it would make me happy. Gotta keep it real with you. Not a bad. This thing could be a mess. It could be all over the place. It seems to me that James Gunn has taken this approach of abundance, right? Like he wants to give you so much at one time. Now, it was reported that Lanterns was going to be a series Earth-based. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? A Earth-based story regarding your intergalactic police force? That does not make any sense to me. All right, you want to keep the thing grounded. Green Lantern is not grounded. All right, he deserves to be part of the stars, not in someone's backyard looking for bones. All right, so with that being said, let's hope that the word about the TV series, I was about to call it a film, is wrong, that is going to be earthbound, and it will give us something along the lines of Emerald Knights. Now, if it does that, hey, James Gunn may win me over. But as you know, so far, not so good regarding that of his DC universe. Make sure you're hype, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you like. And always remember, laissez le bon temps rouler. That means let the good times roll. But in the comments below, let me know, how do you feel about all three topics that I talked about today? Warner Brothers Discovery losing $21 billion in the last 3 years, Supergirl being hijacked by testosterone, and Lanterns possibly being all over the place. But let me know in the comments below.